Look, let me guess. You make decent money now. Not rich, not broke, just comfortable enough that you don't panic every time rent is due, but also not enough that you feel like money has stopped being stressful. You save some money, you invest a little, but every time you check your accounts, you're like, why does it still feel like I'm barely moving forward? Because here's the thing most people don't realize. Becoming a millionaire doesn't feel like winning. It feels like being stuck 4 different times. And almost everyone who reaches $1 million goes through the exact same financial phases, whether they realize it or not. If you don't understand these phases, you'll feel like you're failing, even when you're actually right on track.
My name is Zach, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, investing, and why smart people still feel broke. If you're someone who earns money but doesn't feel financially secure yet, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. All right, let's talk about the 4 financial phases everyone enters before they hit $1 million. Phase 1, the survival phase, aka, why am I working this hard and still broke? This is where almost everyone starts. You're focused on paying bills, avoiding overdraft fees, making rent, and not letting one unexpected expense blow up your life. And psychologically, you're in scarcity mode. Here's a stat that should honestly scare you. According to the Federal Reserve, over 35% of adults can't cover a $400 emergency expense without debt. That's not irresponsibility, that's fragility. And here's what most people don't realize. In phase 1, your problem is not investing. Your problem is cash flow. Look, people love to say, just invest early, compound interest, put $50 into an index fund. But if your monthly surplus is $150 and your car repair is $900, you're not bad with money. You're just under-earning relative to your fixed costs. The psychology trap. When you're in survival mode, your brain prioritizes short-term relief. You avoid looking at your accounts. You feel guilty spending even small amounts. You delay decisions because everything feels overwhelming. This is why budgeting advice alone doesn't work here. The math reality. Let's say you save $200 per month. That's $2,400 per year. Even at a generous 8% return, you're not building wealth yet. You're building stability. And that's okay. What actually matters in phase 1? The goal is not maximizing returns. The goal is getting expenses predictable, building a basic emergency fund, increasing income faster than lifestyle. If you skip this phase mentally, you'll sabotage yourself later financially.
Phase 2, the stability phase, aka, I'm doing everything right, so why is this so slow? This is where things get weird. You have an emergency fund, pay bills on time, invest consistently, don't panic when your tire blows out. From the outside, you look financially responsible. Inside, you feel underwhelmed. Because here's the thing, you're finally doing all the right behaviors, but the numbers still feel disappointingly small. The math that messes with your head. Let's say you have $40,000 invested. You earn an 8% return. That's $3,200 per year, which sounds good until you realize that's $266 per month. Your raises still matter more than your investments. And this is where most people get frustrated and make mistakes. The psychological shift. This phase is dangerous because you start comparing yourself to people online. You underestimate how long compounding takes. You're tempted by faster strategies. This is where people jump into risky crypto bets, over-leveraged real estate, day trading, passive income scams. Not because they're stupid, but because progress feels invisible. Here's what most people don't realize. In phase 2, your savings rate matters more than your net worth. The millionaire next door didn't get lucky. They saved aggressively, avoided lifestyle inflation, stayed boring for years. This phase is where patience becomes a skill. Phase 3, the momentum phase, aka, wait, is this actually working?
This is where things finally start to click. Your investments begin doing something strange. They start growing without you. Let's run the math. Say you've built $250,000 invested. At 8% return, that's $20,000 per year. Now your money is matching a side hustle, outpacing your raises, and quietly compounding in the background. This is where it gets really interesting. The psychological flip. For the first time, you feel calmer about money. Market dips don't scare you as much. You think in years, not months. And here's the wild part. Your behavior becomes more important than your income. Because one bad decision here, lifestyle inflation, overconfidence, risky leverage, can destroy momentum. The hidden danger. This is where people say, I'll just reward myself a little. A nicer car, a bigger apartment, more subscriptions, more upgrades, and suddenly your surplus shrinks again. Not because you failed, but because comfort creeps in quietly. Phase 4, the wealth phase, aka money solves problems, just not the ones I expected. This is the phase nobody explains honestly. You hit $500K, then $700K, then suddenly $1 million. And instead of fireworks, you feel normal. Because here's what most people don't realize. Money removes stress, not uncertainty. At this stage, your investments can cover large expenses. Time becomes more valuable than money. Risk feels different. Let's do the math. $1 million at 7% equals $70,000 per year. That's freedom, optionality, leverage over your time, not
Why most people never reach phase 4. Not because they don't earn enough, but because they quit in phase 2, rush phase 3, or sabotage themselves emotionally. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Wealth is boring until it isn't, and the boredom is the price of entry. Look, becoming a millionaire isn't about intelligence, it's about endurance. If this video made you feel seen, if it clarified where you are and why progress feels the way it does, hit the like button. It helps more than you think. And if you want more honest, no-nonsense breakdowns of money, psychology, and building a life with less stress around finances, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.